special guest tonight is a three-time Grammy Award-winning musician who's celebrating the 10th anniversary of his mixtape, Acid Rap. He's also a coach on The Voice, which airs Mondays at 8 on NBC. Please welcome to the show, Chance the Rapper, everybody. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm happy to finally be here,
It's a thrill for me. This is crazy. I can't believe this has been 10 years.
I can't
since
either.
You put this out. Now, of course, I realize it's only been 8 years since I was hip to it because I'm like a nerd, you know, or not a nerd. I'm like a loser. Like I always find out about cool music like 2 years later. So in 2 years from now, I'm going to celebrate my 10th anniversary.
That's sick, dude.
But this is sort of the album that changed everything. Again, you're self-releasing it, so you're doing it independently. But after this, you start playing real big shows.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. Did you ever, when you're going out and making this music and sort of releasing it by yourself, did you ever think it was going to lead to something that was not even international, but just nationwide?
Yeah. I was.
Good. Gotta believe it.
I just always wanted to, I was always making music and performing and doing talent shows since I was a little kid. So, like, when I decided to become a rapper, I was always hoping that it would be successful. I didn't really have a plan B or anything, but yeah, no, the shows just kept.
What were the like right before you start doing your big tour? What were the sort of local shows you were doing in Chicago? Where were the venues?
It was kind of any stage I could get on. I played Reggie's Rock Club and Lincoln Hall in Chicago. I used to do shows at at the library if I could. Man, literally anywhere. I performed at my aunt's breast cancer awareness rally once. They liked it. It was dope.
They did all right?
Yeah.
Probably a slightly different crowd than you were used to at the time.
Yeah. But
wait, is it true that you played a few like high school parking lots that had to get shut down?
Yeah. No, I used to literally set up wherever I could, and I'd come out with like I'd have posters that I print with this like album cover on it, and like have like I don't know T-shirts and stuff, and try and like sling them in the parking lots after school at different high schools, and then, like you said, I would get shut down.
Was it good for your reputation when it would get shut down?
Yeah, actually that builds like some sort of like, mystique around it.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get there before the cops come.
I would think that's very helpful as well. Did you ever, Chance the Rapper, first of all, it's a great name because it's very on the nose.
Yeah.
No confusion about it.
No,
but I have to imagine you had some other options early on.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a name when I was in 8th grade. I went by Tony Jizzle.
Okay. Maybe a wise choice to say goodbye to Mr. Jizzle.
No, I'm glad that part of my life is over with. Very much so an 8th grade kind of name.
Yeah. You're going out, sort of celebrate this anniversary, and you have a couple new shows. Can you announce a couple new locations?
I'm glad that we could announce it here. Yeah, so we just, in celebration of the 10th year anniversary, we put up tickets on sale for a Chicago show at the United Center, and they sold out immediately. So by popular demand, I decided to add 2 more shows, one in Los Angeles and another one here in New York City.
All right, that's fantastic. You had, you mentioned Madison Square Garden, and this is, sorry, you mentioned the United Center, but Madison Square Garden once put you up on screen. They got a little bit of grief for this because if you look at the lower third of how they described you, your name is Chance the Rapper, and then underneath they wrote Rapper.
Yeah.
And then you reached out and you said, in the future, the titles Father and Zaddy are both acceptable.
Oh.
Nice. And now then you go back here at the United Center, and now it's your hometown venue, right?
Yeah.
And obviously they heard you, and I think it's very nice. They put you up, Chance the Rapper, Father / Zaddy.
Mid nacho chip too.
Mid nacho,
I'm
yeah. You
eating,
never know. You never know when they're gonna throw you up on the screen. And now you are a dad. You got 2 girls.
I got 2 beautiful girls.
And that's very exciting. How are they? Yours are about the same age as mine.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, I think kids are obviously maybe more drawn to music than late night television. Do they have any engagement with your work? Do they know your songs? Do they like any of it?
Yeah, they do like my music. They're more into like Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
And their contemporaries, like they're more like into that. But like I have a few songs that they'll listen to. They like a song called "Let's Go on the Run" a lot.
That's a good song for kids.
Yeah.
That's got some. Yeah, that's a very sweet song.
I gotta be careful when I'm picking my songs for my kids, but they like.
Yeah, that's very funny that I could see, you know, I know your work enough to know there's some songs where you'd be like, do not listen to that song by Daddy.
I didn't mean this, yeah. I didn't mean this at all. No, it's cool. But yeah.
Would you ever think, I mean, in a desperate attempt to gain their affection, would you do a collaboration with Peppa?
Out of my own desperation, I'd do a track with Peppa. Like, if you're listening right now, like I'm trying to work, or at least get some autographs from my kids.
Yeah.
Shout out to Peppa Pig.
Shout out to Peppa Pig.
And the Baby Shark also.
Oh, Baby Shark. You'd work with Baby Shark?
I would in a heartbeat. Is this my opportunity to get these features?
Yeah, anybody, any
Shark,
fictional
Peppa.
characters. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
All right, great.
For giving me this spot.
I want to ask you about The Voice. We're going to be right back with more from Chance the Rapper.